Okay, everybody. Yes, it's me, Bert Mueller. You may know me because I had a podcast at one time called The Noisemaker, or Noisemaker, the podcast, with Ryan Oakes. Love to get back in touch with that guy and work with him again. But right now, I'm deciding to actually do some kind of a YouTube video clip deal of a podcast, or a YouTube cast, or a vidcast, I guess, whatever you call it. But I'm doing this as an idea that I've had for a long time now, and I'm hoping to make a number of episodes to get everything working so that I don't have to feel pressured to get an episode out every Friday or something like that. That'd be a good thing. But anyway, let me just tell you where I am right now. I am in my basement, the gaming basement down here at the parsonage at St. Peter Lutheran Church in Westgate, Iowa, where I play my game, actually. My game, I don't know how many of them there really are. I'm actually just working on one thing right now and hoping to get that thing perfected and done someday. That's the thing. There's a little bit of craziness involved with this, but this is really cool. So what am I working on? Well, thank you for asking, actually. It's actually something that's called a portable war game. You can look on the web and you can find some people talking about portable war games, and I think it's a really great idea. I wish I could do it in actual execution to actually make it portable. I know I've brought war games before to my friends' places, and we've actually played them, but it didn't seem very portable, even though it was able to be moved. But still, it's an idea of breaking down a miniature war game to the essentials, to the very bare bones essentials, so that you can take it with you wherever you go and things like that. And that's what I've been working on, but I have a very long and twisted tale to tell you, and so here goes. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, now first you'll see over here a pile, a huge pile of hexagonal terrain boards. Actually, the boards aren't hexagonal, they're more like rectangles, but these are actually the terrain boards that I used to play awesome games in the past with my friends and cousins and stuff like that. It's been a lot of fun, it's been great, and yet after we got done with that, we decided we'd like something more, something different, something better, and so I started making these things right here. These are hexagonal terrain tiles that are cut of high-density polystyrene and glued together into mega hexagons, basically, which is a great idea. But guess what? That didn't suit us enough. I don't know why. I just decided it wasn't the right way to go. It seemed like you didn't have enough variation or enough ability on something like that, having a couple hundred of these things lying around. So I decided to get rid of that. Oh dear. Well, there we go. Save that one from oblivion. Well, anyway, there we go. Now over here, we got another idea here too. Same kind of thing. Oh, you know, didn't take off either. Not the best idea. So then I decided to go over here and do something like this here. So I got these things here. These are great. These are awesome. I mean, you got lots of variation. That's a choke point there. I think I was reading some of Don Featherstone stuff about smaller armies holding up larger armies, stuff like that. Good stuff. And I really enjoyed building this terrain, and I enjoyed playing on it too. I mean, it was just perfect. You could have a sprawling game, but it's not very portable. I mean, really. It's kind of silly. Okay, then over here, I started buying these things. You know, don't mind my son. This is my son's, one of his science projects over here. He's in kindergarten. He's polishing rocks. He's having fun. This is like this is just horrible over here. Look at that. I got all these 20mm soldiers over here. Whole bunch of game pieces, junk like that. It's just my wife's old computer, beer. Anyway, okay. So over here, what we got here? Well, besides the model railroading stuff, we have some of these HeroScape. What are these things called? Nuts. GHQ tiles, GHQ terrain tiles, and they're great. They're wonderful. I mean, they're perfect for miniature wargaming. I like them a lot, and yet, again, not very portable. I have like 5 or 6 boxes here, and these tiles would, you know, fill a minimum size table that I'd want to play a wargame on. Anyway, I really like them, and I'm going to use them again, but they're going to be more my home set of rules rather than the ones I'm going to take with me. Oh, we have a detour on the trail. This was an idea that I had too. This was great. I mean, it was wonderful to set it up and to have it all fully set up. But I have 6 of these. These are only 4 of them. But I have 6 of these terrain boards. Look, that's the one that has the river on it. Oh, it's a beautiful one. I love making those things. They're great, wonderful, just great, but still not a very portable. So I decided that I needed to do something a little different. I was looking around. Here, I'm going to turn around here so I can see you. So, trying to find something portable was the goal. And I was looking around the web and how do you do this? What do you find that's portable? And there were some guys that were talking about using HeroScape terrain. And I thought, HeroScape terrain? Huh. I wonder if that would work with my system. I wonder if that would work with my guys. And I thought, well, maybe I should try it out. And I had an old HeroScape game. And so I got it out and I started setting up the little soldiers on the hexagons. I thought to myself, this could work. So I thought, what do I do? How am I going to make this work? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. So I'm going to show you kind of what I did and show you what happened. So the first thing I did was get basically the HeroScape terrain and paint it a different color. Like all this light green here, I think this was a gray. I've tried to scrape it off there a little bit. This was like rock. And, it'd work fine if I had it all spray painted. Not spray painted. If I had it all painted that color. But the problem is that you don't get this, this definition of where the hexagon is. And you also don't have flock on it. And those are the 2 problems that I thought about. And so I decided to change all of that. So look what I did next. Now over here you have another step here in the whole process. This is stuff that I'm going to actually use again and kind of remake, but I painted a lot of these large pieces, and I thought, oh, that'd be really cool. I could make that work where I could just have a whole bunch of these large pieces and lay them out in a pattern, and stuff like that, and it would be just great. And, for sure, yeah, I mean, you could put a single hex there with a little road on it. It'd be just great, just perfect. And I will, but it didn't give me the flexibility. So I started with just the large pieces, and, I didn't have a lot of flexibility as to where I could build things and things like that as my furnace goes now. So anyway, so I will use these again, but I just need to fill in some gaps that I perceived here, and so I painted the next level down, those pieces there. And how do I do this? Well, first of all, what I do is I take some green paint and mix it with glue, and then I spread flock on top of that and let it dry. Okay, and I'm using the very fine turf or the fine grass flock here because I'm using very small miniatures, like 10 millimeter tall miniatures for these. And so then after it dries, I take a mixture of 50% glue, 50% water, and paint over that with that mixture, and then let it dry again. And that locks that flock down there really well. And here I'm running my finger against it. I'm not peeling any flock off because it is locked down there very well. Actually, just a little bit, but it's not too bad. Still, it's a great thing. And this way also, I am keeping the natural color of the HeroScape tile underneath of it or behind it, so you can still see the hexagons very easily. In fact, they just sort of pop out there, as they're meant to do, I suppose. So that's the deal. All right, and now for the great reveal. This is what I did by adding in the little pieces, like the 3-piece right here, and one pieces and things like that, and modding them just a little bit. I also put some of my my patented, not really patented, but you know, I put my miniature houses that I built out there as well. And all these figures here, these are all Risk figures from Risk 1993, the board game. I know, they're not the best figures for miniature wargaming, but I tell you what, they're cheap, and I can buy a whole ton of them and paint them up however I want. So that's kind of how it goes. But yeah, that's the battlefield here. These things right here are simple pipe cleaners stuck in to the terrain tiles here. I'll show you how that works. Right over here. See? There's the top there, pipe cleaners, and then on the bottom here, these are little pieces of chip and stuff like that. Little pieces of whatchamacallit, cardboard that I've glued onto the bottom there after sticking it through the terrain board. See, I used my drill bit to drill holes that fit the pipe cleaner there. That's how that worked. You know, that's how I did that. This right here, these are fields. You can see that pretty easily. I'm going to put some brown highlights beneath, or right between all these rows here, so they look like fields a little bit better. This is just the normal HeroScape water terrain here. It works out really well there for that. And yeah, you got your hills, you got your rocky crags, stuff like that. There's another army here. Look, this is how I made the Lancers. Isn't that awesome? I love the Lancers. They're so cool. Anyway, I know, you know, it's not the best way that you could actually do this, but it's the way that number one, fits into my budget, and number two, allows me to have huge armies like this. You know, so basically this is the deal. I have a whole bunch more, a whole ton more of little Risk figures running around here, and I think it's the way to do it. I think it's the way to have large armies. It's cheap, it's productive, and you can actually paint them up rather well. You know, I'm not ashamed of this tabletop quality. You know, well, okay, maybe not quite that good, but you know, I did the 20 millimeter thing for a while. I did the 10 millimeter metals and the 15 millimeter metals for a while. I'm settled on this because I'm working on a portable war game, and so this would be like a war game set up at somebody's house that I would just bring over there. We'd set it up and we'd play the battle. So that's kind of how it works. My portable war game. I'm working on it, and you know, there'll be more. There'll be more to this. My favorite thing here is this is like a little apple orchard or something like that there. There's the guys in there. Maybe it's the peach orchard. That's not Gettysburg, but you know, it could be. Anyway, that's the deal. Anyway, let's see. What else could I talk about here? Well, you know, one of the major ideas, one of the major things that I'd like to do is to clean up my basement here too. And that's going to be a project that I'm going to work on for a while. I have an old station over here where I used to do my painting. On this side over here, I'd like to get that all cleaned up. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Anyway, but I don't do my painting here anymore. I've got a man cave I'm making upstairs. Then over here, you know, this is where the gaming stuff was. The 6 big terrain tiles were set out here. The 3 foot by 3 foot tiles. It was just great. It was wonderful. Problem is that you know, it's hard to reach to the middle of the table, stuff like that. Not easy. And these are my other armies here. This is the green army over here. I name my armies different names based on the armies that my friends and I played with in college. We weren't playing armies, you know, based on historical armies, but we were playing our own little deals, and so I built all their armies for them. Yeah, I know, it's crazy stuff. But yeah, so look at that. That is a heavy gun right there for the Oatians, the gray guys. Anyway, there's Oatian regulars. But anyway, so this is Bert's Portable Wargame, episode number 1. And we'll get another episode out to you as soon as we can. I'll change your diaper, honey. I mean, really, I will.
I'll do it.
Okay, all right. I love you.
Oh.
Good job, Rachel.